What is up, people of winning mentality, and welcome to episode number 23 of Saving Saints. Today we've got 6 more brilliant games, including our final UEFA Conference League game and our first FA Cup game. I do hope you do enjoy it. Let's prepare for Derek Ray later on retrospective. What a guest that'll be. But anyway, yeah, I do hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you in a bit. So what is up, everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of Saving Saints and the going through of our 6 games. First off, we would have Panathinaikos in the UEFA Conference League. Harrison Reed would run through, hit it at the keeper, pass it back, well-ish, and Michael Obafemi would score his first goal in quite a long time, which is quite good for us. Harry Wilson would then cross in from the corner for Joe Rodon to nod in for his 3rd goal of the season. We'd make it 3-0, and after 75 minutes, Sebastiano Esposito came off the bench and does what he does best, put it in the back of the net. And finally, as the minutes close, Adam Plozek played through Esposito, and he would make it 4. What a start to our episode, and another clean sheet for us. So after that wonderful win we had against Panathinaikos, we would take on Brighton and Hove Albion away from home. We'd got on 5 consecutive wins with 5 consecutive clean sheets in the Premier League. It would all come a little bit more unstuck, though, at the MX Stadium. There would only be 1 goal in the match, and it would go to the hosts, and they would beat us for the first time in 5 games, and it would be Steven Alzate, formerly on loan at Swindon, who would finish it, and that would be it. Brighton would beat us by 1-0. It's our first defeat in a little while, and does a dent a little bit in our title hopes. Back to St Mary's now, and we would take on Norwich City at home, managed by Gerardo Seoane, and we'd take them on, and we would win. We would get the win, which is good for us. The first goal of the match came for Moise Kean as Sebastiano Esposito passed it across and he headed it in. Wonderful goal from Moise Kean. Sebastiano Esposito would cross again. Rodon was there, and this time it would bounce off Moise Kean. It was a lucky goal. He'd make it 2-0. After 76 minutes, he would complete his hat-trick. Oxlade-Chamberlain would find Plozek, find Esposito, who'd find Kean. It would be 3-0. That isn't how it would finish, though. Norwich would get a goal back in at the last minute. Shea Ojo would cross in. Well, he'd pass it into Mata, who would be nodded in by Felipe Caicedo. But that's a good result for Southampton as they get the win over Norwich City and back to winning ways at St Mary's. Yeah, another match at St Mary's now, and we take on Everton. And we're looking to get revenge for our exit in the Carabao Cup. And we certainly would. But the familiar face would come to thwart us in the early minutes. And if you do remember, the man we sold to Everton at the start of the season was, you guessed right, Mr. Danny Ings, and he made it 1-0 after 7 minutes to the Toffees. But we would get a goal back just before half-time. Adam Plozek would run through and finish emphatically. He's been excellent in his limited game time this season due to injury. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain would then play a big part in the next goal. 49th minute, Adam Plozek would whip in to make it 2-1. What a brilliant start. Harry Wilson's free kick would then be saved, and it would be finished by the ultimate poacher, Mr. Sebastiano Esposito. 3-1 yet again, and yeah, what a start. What a way we're playing at the moment. And finally, for the final Premier League game of our episode, we would take on Brentford away from home, a fixture that caused us some trouble last season, but this time we would breeze through it comfortably. Although we would fall behind, though, and this is why... You know, Brentford are quite a scary team to play on this game. They are very, very good, and they would take the lead. Aguilar's pass would find Thiago Mendes, who would hit it, and Caleri tried to claim it, but Thiago Mendes would score. We would equalise just 12 minutes later, though. Harry Wilson would play the ball in, and Nathan Redmond, who would find Michael Obafemi, who replaced the injured Moise Kean, who now has 18 goals this season, but he's now injured. Wilson would then cross in, and Joe Rodon was there again for the 2nd time this episode to make it 2-1. And then in the 77th minute, we'd make it 3. Esposito to Obafemi, 3-1. Esposito's becoming such a complete striker, man. I just love him. Like, he's so good at scoring goals, but then he sets so many up. He's brilliant with set pieces as well. But anyway, it would finish 3-1 to us, and we get into the new year and a new competition. And finally, we would take on Sheffield Wednesday at home in the FA Cup. We play a rotated team as we would. And we still have like some good first team players like Callum Chambers, James Ward-Prowse, Adam Lallana would feature. But we would go 1-0 down, and it was a header from Dominic Iorfa, formerly of Wolves. What a player he was going to be. We would make it 1-1, though. Karamoko Dembele with a big part in the move. And Adam Lallana, again, the forgotten man, has scored his 2nd goal of the season. Sheffield Wednesday would reply though pretty quickly, and it would be Troy Parrott on loan from Tottenham who would finish past Marcus Bettinelli but it was given as a Bettinelli own goal. Sheffield Wednesday would then make it 3-1 through Adam Reach. He'd get past Tyrell Malacia and finish what would be emphatically and make it 3-1 to Sheffield Wednesday. We were going to go back pretty much straight away though, and it's a massive moment for me because it's a first Southampton goal for Juddy Mandanda, the youth prospect, and yeah, it's just a great moment. And then in the 93rd minute, I can't tell you how crazy I was going, Jamie Vardy would cross in and Karamoko Dembele would finish what would be emphatic. It is embarrassing to only draw at home to a championship club, especially how we absolutely destroyed them in the game, but honestly, what a way to get that draw. Anyway, let's see how we're doing in the Premier League table. So this is where we would end up at the end of this episode going into 2022. 15 wins, 1 draw and 4 losses, 3 points behind Manchester City, 3 points ahead of Manchester United, and West Ham United are also in the top 4. What a season for them. Well, we've just been wonderful so far. Moise Kean on 10 goals, I think Esposito's on 9, Adam Plozek's on 7 and Wilson's on 5, so we're scoring a lot of goals. We're not conceding very many. Honestly, I don't know what's going to happen really. Jurgen Klopp is on the verge of being sacked, but he's just won 4 out of the last 5 games. But anyway, that'll be the end of today's episode of Saving Saints, guys. I do hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe. There will be an episode of Retrospective up later with the one and only Mr. Derek Ray. So please go give that a watch and a like as well. That'd be amazing. And we will see you in the next episode. See you next time.